Welcome back to our exploration into the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, guided heavily by the scholarship of Dr. Michael Ward. Today we resume our exploration by turning to a new theme, a new planet, and a new volume of the series. Today we'll be talking about Luna, the moon. Paying special attention to the theme of hierarchy present and the lunar atmosphere. We'll be talking about the silver chair. Even the word silver in silver chair is meaningful. Lewis defended the moon's literary reputation whenever he could. For example, he quotes Lodge's line, "Daughter of Jove and sister to the sun." He would mouth this for sheer pleasure. He rebuked his friend Catherine Farrer, who described Moon as like the white face of an idiot lost in a wood. She was denigrating, Lewis said, the high creatures of God, and told her to learn Psalm 136 by heart as penance. So what is Psalm 136? Let me read it for you. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of gods. Give thanks to the Lord of lords. To him who alone does great wonders, who by his understanding made the heavens, who spread out the earth upon the waters, who made the great lights, the sun to govern the day, the moon and the stars to govern the night. His love endures forever. Catherine Farrer had to learn that by heart as penance for denigrating this high creature of God, the moon. The moon is an ambiguous literary symbol. And it's the result of the moon's astrological position between two realms, the immutable translunary realm and the mutable sublunary realm. The moon is the bridge. But also, it's an ambiguous literary symbol, according to Ward, because of its own inconsistent behavior, as we shall see. Allow me to quote from this book, The Discarded Image, which Ward also quotes in Planet Narnia. This is Lewis describing the moon. At Luna, we cross in our descent the great frontier which I have so often had to mention. From ether to air, from heaven to nature, from the realm of gods or angels to that of demons, from the realm of necessity to that of contingence, from the incorruptible to the corruptible. Unless this great divide is firmly fixed in our minds, every passage in Donne or Drayton or whom you will that mentions translunary and sublunary will lose its intended force. We shall take under the moon as a vague synonym, like our under the sun, for everywhere, when in reality it is used with precision. When Gower says, "We that dwell under the moon stand in this world upon a weir," he means exactly what he says. If we lived above the moon, we should not suffer weir, doubt, uncertainty. When Chaucer's Nature says, "Each thing in my cure is under the moon that may wane and wax," she is distinguishing her mutable realm from the translunary world, where nothing grows or decreases. Lewis treats Luna as both something beautiful, but also as something ridiculous. Moonshine means idle nonsense, really. About the moon's own whimsical behavior, Ward writes, she can be the brightest object in the night sky, but can sometimes disappear altogether. When visible, she wanders rapidly, changing shape and size and color. Allow me to read from the discarded image again. In men, she, the moon, produces wandering, and that in two senses. She may make them travelers so that, as Gower says, the man born under Luna will search many lawns strange. In this respect, the English and the Germans are much under her influence. But she may also produce wandering of the wits, especially that periodical insanity, which was first meant by the word lunacy, in which the patient, as Langland says, is mad at the moon sit more other lass. These are the dangerous, unsafe loons of the winter's tale, whence, and on other grounds, loons in Hamlet is an almost certain emendation for quartos, meaningless bros, and folios, unmetrical lunacies. Dante assigns the moon's sphere to those who have entered the conventual life and abandoned it for some good or pardonable reason. The account of Luna in the discarded image is about 3 times longer than other planetary accounts, but this imbalance is not present in Lewis's scholarship elsewhere. Turning to the cosmic trilogy, Luna and Sol are the two planets that do not descend at the very end, the third volume, that hideous strength. However, unlike Sol, Luna has a large role. Two of her characteristics are present, this boundary status and her maddening influence. About the boundary status. Now, it's central to NICE's plan, so National Institute of Coordinated Experiments, because they have this sort of false security under the moon's orbit, as the story says. So when the gods descend, it's a terrible surprise, false security. Lewis has been critiqued for his planetary trilogy. For example, the biologist and biochemist, a contemporary of Lewis, Professor J.B.S. Haldane, believed that Lewis was against interplanetary exploration and thus against progress of science in a way. And he was being a little bit naive. Ransom, the main character, traverses this lunar divide, transcends, and serves as a bridge between the two realms, a medium for saving influence of the translunary realm. And so Ward thinks Ransom, for this reason, among many others, is a kind of Christ figure in this story. As for the maddening influence, the sage Grace Ironwood, which possibly could be based on the mystic and scholar Evelyn Underhill, she predicts NICE is going to overemphasize the head without the heart, and this will produce a sort of lunacy, which happens. Some characters, they actually genuflect before a tramp, and it's described as pure lunacy. Turning to Lewis's poetry, There are at least 6 lunar poems. There's no full lunar poem. Rather, lunar ingredients are found in many poems. For example, French Nocturne. There's a mocking fancy to GM and 2 kinds of memory. The lunar characteristics of dryness and the mineral aspect are present. And the turn of the tide, inconsistency, it's in the name. According to Ward, the 2 most lunar poems are The Queen of Drum and The Planets, of course. As for the Queen of Drum, you have the lunar metal, so silver, lunar water, like the moon herself, lapped in a motion which is also rest. Lunar ambiguity, lunar goddesses, lunar deception. And Ward says that the range is impressive of this poem, but the atmosphere is weak. And then the planets. Actually, the poem Planets begins with 13 lines on Luna. And here you could turn to the handout, which is linked in the description, and read these 13 lines for yourself. So press pause right now and then resume. You probably noticed a few key elements there. The main element seems to be wateriness. There's the canoe, friths, shallows, chrism, dews, shower, moisture, cruising, drenching, drizzling. This wateriness is a key lunar aspect element in the silver chair as well, to which we turned next. Let's follow Ward and look at the lunar poema, the imagery first, and then turn to the lunar logos, the message. As for the lunar poema, there are several images. One is the instability of water. You have the moon's drenching, drizzling, dewy effects throughout the silver chair. On the very first page, Jill Pole is crying on a damp little path. She's joined by Eustace. There are references to soaking water, drip off leaves, and so on. Not significant for the plot, but they begin an atmosphere. In the second chapter, water has a more obvious role, and it ends with "How wet I am." Puddleglum is introduced, suggestively named. He comes from a race that does watery work. His pipe smoke is like mist, and he snores like a waterfall. There's also instability of space and mind, not just water. So the 3 heroes, Jill, Eustace, and Puddleglum, are fitful and hapless in search of Prince Rilian. Prince Rilian's wanderings are twofold. Prince Rilian is wandering after the murderer of his mother, and he suffers from wanderings of the wits, like a man out of his wits. An hour each night when the mind is most horribly, when my mind is most horribly changed by a fury, a frenzy, ravings, a lunatic. He suffers from periodical lunacy. In the discarded image, you remember search many lands strange. There are 5 different lands that are searched, more than other books in the Chronicles of Narnia. There's England, there's Aslan's country, Narnia, the underworld, and even Bism. And according to Ward, the geographical arrangement is actually significant. It's a quadruple decker universe. And there's a succession of divisions and reversals, which create a V-shaped story. So in chapters 1 and 2, in England and Aslan's country, that that turns into a multi-chapter long segment in Narnia, chapters 2 to 9, and then further down for a few chapters, the Underland with a glimpse to Bism, then back up chapters 15, 16, back to Narnia, and finally, ultimately, back in England and Aslan's country in chapter 16. Aslan gives Jill signs, and let me quote. Here on the mountain, the air is clear and your mind is clear. As you drop down into Narnia, the air will thicken. Take care that it does not confuse your mind, and the signs which you have learned here will not look at all as you expect them to look when you meet them there. And the signs that they then meet are huge trenches, literally letters carved in rock. Clear signs, but they are too close to decipher them. Confusion actually leads to more confusion until in chapter 10, which is called Travels Without the Sun, they fall into Underland. The moon then disappears for over 10 chapters in all but one way. It is intensified in the melancholy paleness, which the planet speaks of. The adjective pale is attached to almost every noun. Pale earthmen, pale sand, pale lanterns, beaches, lamps, lights, pale faces, and so on. In Planet Narnia, we read, Lewis was of the view that the recurrence of a single word can be an undoubtedly necessary element in establishing the tone of a passage. This is an example of an occasion where he overdoes it. The lunar metal silver is spaced out more evenly throughout the book, more evenly than pale. The title itself is a dead giveaway, again, just like it was in The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. The silver chair. We hear of silver shields, a silver mail shirt, watery silver, pure silver light, and above all, the eponymous silver chair itself. Well, let's turn to the lunar logos now, the message. There's a peculiar problem here, which is that Luna is ambiguous. How could Aslan assume her? Like Aslan could assume the translunary planets, which are not ambiguous, are not affected by the mutability-ness of the sublunary world. Well, half of Luna's orb shares our curse, the translunary curse. How could the book say something about Christ with this symbol, which is not good per se, unlike the other planets, but actually partially corrupt in itself, not just ambiguous in its effects, but in itself partially corrupt? The answer that Ward proposes is that Aslan assumes qualities of the higher orb and assumes the opposite qualities of the lower orb. Aslan is literally above lunar doubt and lunar uncertainty and insanity. Down below, Aslan reveals himself, however, as we heard, in 4 signs and a revelatory dream to Jill in chapter 8. Christologically, however, the silver chair is weak because Aslan never incarnates in Narnia. So, how then is it about Christ? Well, to this we can turn to Lewis's essay, First and Second Things, which is part of Ward's theory. If we have let poeima, the images, direct our exploration instead of a doctrinal grid, we can see, says Ward, that this story is about hierarchy, as discussed in this essay, First and Second Things, from 1942, which was a popularization of ideas on degree, ideas about equality in Milton, in Shakespeare, in pretty much all pre-modern literature. And the thesis of this essay is this: if first things are put first, we get to keep both first things and second things. But if second things are put first, we actually lose both, even the second things for which we first sacrificed the first things. So it's doubly tragic. So lose belief in higher realities and you'll lose something about both, and perhaps your mind. The same applies to a hierarchy of loves. If your loves are in disorder, you'll eventually damage all of your relationships. This essay, by the way, is where the journal First Things gets its name from. Now, in this light, the mission of God here is, well, the question is not how to bring down Christ, but how to imitate Christ's filial submission, how to imitate Christ. It's true that Aslan does not descend. Rather, Eustace and Jill descend. They're, in effect, incarnated into Narnia, as it were, and beyond, while remaining anchored to the mountain of Aslan, and which helps them not go native down there where the air is thick and misty. And the task of the heroes is to demonstrate these sun as in S-O-N, like humility, and overcome the temptations to believe that they are the center of reality and there was nothing above them. The overlanders know both realities, know both the higher and the lower reality, but the witch in the underworld does not know or pretends to know only the raw lower realm. Is this Missio Dei fulfilled? In many ways, it is not, but eventually it is. For Lewis, Hamlet was the archetypal lunatic, and I quote from Lewis, his mind on the frontier of two worlds, unable quite to reject or quite to admit the supernatural. Like Feuerbach, Freud, Marx, and so on, the witch calls the supernatural realities fancies. You can put nothing into your make-believe without copying it from the real world, this world of mine, which is the only world. And the Narnian heroes, they waver and they doubt. They're rescued. How are they rescued? Puddleglum remembers the heaven, literally, the sun. This lunatic or diabolical egocentricity is repelled. And the lower half of Luna, the corrupted orb, represents a rejection of alterity, of another locus of reality. So it's egocentric. And let me quote from Ward again, from Planet Narnia, page 135. There we go. By clinging onto their memory of the sun, the heroes show themselves to be unwilling to make that turn to the self. They belong spiritually to the upper half of the moon sphere. And its openness to the radiant heavens, where the day never shuts his eye. How to remain true in a hostile environment? This is an important question, and it's important to know. The heroes of the story, they're temporarily persuaded by the rich. They do waver terribly. And they realize that superior insight, knowledge, is not enough always. You must act. So, moral virtues are important, not just intellectual virtues. So, through courage, in fact, against the serpent in the story, and through sacrifice, stamping on the fire, so allowing the greater good, putting the greater good first. Sacrifice here serves the purposes of love, which is the higher good. And they, in the end, are able to retain both both the first and second things, both the overland and the underland. The biblical rationale, some of you may have guessed, of course, is from Matthew: seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. In The Four Loves, Lewis writes, when the true God arrives, only then can half gods remain. We do not throw away our silver to make room for the gold. He's talking about loves, that human loves are important and valuable, but they have an inherent danger to go corrupt if we screw up our order of responsibilities and loves. However, it doesn't mean we need to throw away any of the silver. The silver just isn't gold. And in Lewis's essay, Christianity and Culture, he says, it is lawful to rest our eyes in the moonlight, especially now that we know where it comes from, that it is only sunlight at second hand. In the preface to Paradise Lost, Lewis talks about degree and equality, and he's referencing Ulysses' speech on degree in Shakespeare's Troilus and Cressida. Not many people have actually read this book. It's a very short, a very good introduction. Allow me to read. This is from page 75. The greatest statement of the hierarchical conception, in its double reference to civil and cosmic life, is perhaps the speech of Ulysses in Shakespeare's Troilus. Its special importance lies in its clear statement of the alternative to hierarchy. If you take degree away, each thing meets in mere oppugnancy, so antagonism. Strength will be lord, everything will include itself in power. In other words, the modern idea that we can choose between hierarchy and equality is, for Shakespeare's Ulysses, and I would say probably for Lewis, mere moonshine. The real alternative to hierarchy is tyranny. If you will not have authority, you will find yourself obeying brute force. Finally, did you spot the fallacy? I committed a deliberate, at least one deliberate lapse in argumentation, and it was one of these. Which one was it? Did you catch it? Where was it? See you next time.